Hi, I'm Evelyn Tribole, and I'm so excited about this 10-day series of intuitive eating. And what I thought I'd do is let you know what to expect and how this is going to work. So each day I'm going to unpack a principle of intuitive eating. And the way that I did this is I wanted to make it more meaningful for you depending on where you're at on this path. So, for example, you might be on the fence, kind of curious but ambivalent about what's this intuitive eating thing. That's okay. You're welcome. I've got prompts for you. You might be brand new to intuitive eating, but you know that you're never, ever, ever going to diet again. And that's awesome. I've got prompts for you. You also might be somebody who's been quite experienced at this, have been doing this for a while, and questions can still come up about intuitive eating, and I've got prompts for you too. So everybody here is welcome. I'm hoping this categorization will help be a little more relational in terms of where you're at. And so, one of the things I want to really emphasize is intuitive eating is about cultivating a healthy relationship with food, mind, and body. It's not about body size. And I think this first principle of intuitive eating is probably the most difficult. Actually, a lot of them are difficult, if I'm honest. But what I'm finding is that reject the diet mentality is getting tougher and tougher. And I think because a diet culture is just so insidious, it's everywhere. And so what I want you to know, it's really normal to feel conflicted. It's really normal to want to become an intuitive eater, to be exhausted with dieting, and yet still wanting to change your body. So I want you to know that this is normal. This change doesn't happen overnight. It's normal to be conflicted. In fact, I say it to the health professionals that embrace intuitive eating, who are actually certified intuitive eating counselors. How long did it take you to embrace all this? It takes a while to wrestle with it. I've had some experienced intuitive eaters say to me they're afraid that they're failing intuitive eating because they're still harboring thoughts of going on one more diet. And so once again, it is the culture. It doesn't make you a failure. So one of the things about intuitive eating that's so important is to really come from this place of kindness and compassion with a little bit of curiosity. This is not about perfection. This is a journey of learning and discovering where you are the expert of your body, not some outside person, not even me. I'm just the tour guide to help show you ways to connect with the body so that you can be living a life in which you are flourishing and not stuck in the worry of what to eat and so on and so on. And one of the big aspects of diet culture and this idea of rejecting the diet mentality, it's about rejecting the culture and some of the rules you might have embraced and internalized. It's not about shaming people or yourself for still being stuck in diet culture. I want to be really, really clear on that. This takes a while. One of the things I also hear, people are so surprised when they start seeing we're hearing about the body of research that shows that dieting, by whatever name you want to call it, and diet culture is so sneaky, they're calling it by all kinds of stuff now because they know it's not cool to diet, so they're calling it other things. But the research has been around for a really long time, and I've got some slides to show you some summaries of this, that not only does dieting not work and not sustainable, it causes harm. And in fact, most of the people that I have worked with that have come into intuitive eating, it's because of the suffering that they've experienced. And I think what makes it difficult in the beginning, especially when you've been new into dieting, it's kind of euphoric. It's like a first love. It's easy. And then all of a sudden you just can't do it anymore. And all of a sudden you're having more anxiety and worry around eating. And what this ends up doing is it disrupts trust. You don't trust yourself after you go after diet after diet after plan after plan. And what I want you to know, it's this process that diet culture does is the problem. It's not you. And I'm so glad you are here, wherever you're at, whatever you are contemplating on this. And so, for those of you that are starting families or thinking about having a family or have a family, I would love for you to think about what it'd be like to stop the legacy of diet culture in your family. I find that to be such a aspirational idea that really resonates with a lot of people that I work with because they know firsthand how profound the suffering is. So I'm really glad you're here. Take a look at some of the slides I have for resources and let's connect. I can't wait to read your comments on today's Reject the Diet Mentality, the first principle of intuitive eating. Take care.